Minister of Justice and Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayine has taken on Godfred over claims that President Mahama should halt all consultation processes with the Council of State on petitions for the removal of the Chief Justice until after the injunction application filed by MP for Old Tafo, Vincent Kwasifa, is addressed. The Supreme Court today adjourned again its hearing of the injunction application against President Mahama from proceeding to consult the Council of State on the three petitions seeking the removal of the Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu from office. Vincent Kwasifa's suit filed on March 27, 2025, over what he describes as unconstitutional breaches committed by the president for referring three separate petitions asking for the removal of the Chief Justice from office to the Council of State without first notifying the Chief Justice. He wants the court to injunct the president from further acting on the matter. But presiding judge, Her Ladyship Henrietta Mensah-Bonsu, today adjourned the case to May 6 following the absence of one of the five justices, His Lordship Samuel Esiedu. Counsel for the plaintiff Godfred, after the first hearing on April 9, 2025, argued that the law prohibits the continuation of a court processes when there's an injunction application. But the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, speaking to the media after today's adjournment, rejected calls for President Mahama to hold on with further action on the petitions until after the court ruling.
He has filed an application in court. The court is here to make an order. So if he says that the president must hold on, is he saying that the court has already granted an order in respect of which the president, must not continue the process, right? First of all, he has to understand that this is the performance of a constitutional duty, right? And the law is very clear that you cannot enjoin the performance of a constitutional or public obligation. And so, for me, I don't see the point that he's trying to make by saying that the president must hold on to the process of consultation. The president is performing a constitutional duty, and the law is very clear that you cannot enjoin the performance of a public obligation. Now, the adjournment is to May 6. So, because one of the panel members was not, was unavoidably absent, and so the court has adjourned it to the 6th of May. The decision whether or not to hear the case is not mine to make, all right? And the reason why we were absent at the last adjourned date was because we organized a training far ahead of the date that was given to us by the court. And the training was for all sick attorneys, right, by the ECOWAS Court of Justice. So they were being trained on the procedures and rules of the ECOWAS Court of Justice. And because of that, I was deeply involved in the training. My deputy was deeply involved in the training. The ECOWAS delegation that was doing the training was here in Accra. And we just asked for a date. Lawyers ask for this all the time when they are constrained and cannot be available in court. So for you to interpret that to mean that we are not willing, to go along with this process is totally unacceptable.
That's the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine. Well, after that, moments later, a minority in Parliament also organized a press conference. They are calling on religious and traditional leaders to prevail upon President Mahama to suspend the processes aimed at removing the Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu. Speaking at that emergency press conference today, legal counsel for the minority and Member of Parliament for Swami, John Darko, stated that the three petitions seeking the Chief Justice's removal are unfounded.
Under Article 146 of our Constitution, the grounds for the removal of CJ is clearly stated. And if you permit me, if I may quote, it says that a justice of the Superior Court or a chairman of a regional tribunal shall not be removed from office except for stated misbehavior or incompetence or on grounds of inability to perform the functions of the office arising from infirmity of body or mind. You've heard these allegations. You've heard the allegations being thrown around. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, people of Ghana, which of these allegations rise to the level where a CJ should be subject to removal processes? How can a serious country, mindful of its past, desirous of improving its democratic credential, entertain such loose petitions to orchestrate the destruction of the last bastion of our democracy? We are aware of plans being hatched to invoke Article 146(10)(a) to suspend the CJ, to appoint somebody who is a known sympathizer of the current NDC government to act as the Chief Justice of the Republic. To you, this judge, and to all judges who entertain such desires, Justice Tokuni's distraction should not be the grounds for your rising to the office of Chief Justice. To you, that judge, remember that you can rise together, but if you ride on the distraction of somebody to rise, remember that posterity will not be kind to you. To our development partners and foreign missions in the country, this is the time our country needs you most. The destruction of our judiciary will begin the end of our country's democratic experiment. Never in the history of this country, since Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah in the Otri case cited above, have we seen such naked attempt to subjugate the judiciary. To our revered traditional leaders and religious leaders, the time to call the president to advise him is now. The time to pray for our country's peace is now. We shouldn't wait until it's too late. And most importantly, to you, the people of Ghana, you are the fountains from which justice flows. You see that from Article 125 of our Constitution. It says that justice emanates from the people and shall be administered in the name of the Republic by the judiciary, which shall be independent and subject only to the Constitution. And so to you, the people of Ghana, you are the one who can stop this naked usurpation of the judicial powers by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. You are the ones whose power is being taken away. You are the ones who sweat and toil keep this nation running. And you are the one who will suffer most when this country is thrown into chaos, when this democratic experiment collapses. You are the one who must therefore rise up and say enough is enough.
That's the Member of Parliament for Swami and Minorities Council, Legal Council, John Dakon. That press briefing happened earlier today in Parliament. Let's say how long on matters related to the Chief Justice, because today she's announced the expansion of the country's jury selection process to include all eligible citizens as part of efforts to improve the speed and quality of criminal justice delivery. Gertrude Tokonu was speaking at the official opening of the 2025 session of the criminal sizes by the Judicial Service.
A person convicted of treason or felony or an offense involving dishonesty is disqualified to serve as a juror unless the person has obtained a free pardon. Over the years, and strangely, the justice sector seemed to have become constrained only to a small pool from which jurors were chosen. This pool seemed to have become confined to clerical staff in the civil and or public service institutions, and in a few instances, officers from the education sector. The yearly revision of lists required under Section 213 of Act 30 has seemed not to be thorough. This has caused the untenable problem of a particular juror being involved in several cases in different courts at the same time. Some of the jurors were on jury duty for years, and in some cases over a decade, making them almost professional jurors, and not the lay group with fresh exposure to legalities that they were needed to be. After much brainstorming, a team assisted me to propose solutions and reforms to make our jury system more efficient and results-oriented. In order to get the buy-in of all stakeholders, the team went on to do media and stakeholder engagements on national and regional platforms. As we open assizes today, jury lists have been expanded to include all citizens qualified by law, including many individuals in the private sector. Over time, steps will be taken to further expand the pool from which jurors will be selected. With these reforms, it is our expectation in the judiciary that the time of citizens engaged in jury duty not being used efficiently will change, and now there will be more expeditious disposal of cases. The time for change has gladly come, beginning from today's opening of the criminal session, which will be occurring in all the regions of Ghana, where trials on indictment will be conducted. The following administrative directions already exist for presiding judges and registrars of high courts, where trials on indictment are to be held.
That's the Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokono. The Western Regional Office of the National Service Secretariat is currently under lock by some members of the Regional Youth Wing of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, who vowed not to open until their demands are met. What are their demands? The angry youth want government to rescind its transfer of a new regional coordinator, Daniel Dawusu, to the area. They want an indigent to manage the authority. Let's speak to the constituency youth organizer for secondary NDC, Kweku Mensa Emmanuel. Ima, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time on 505.
Good evening, Valentina, and your able listeners.
Okay, so you decided today that you wake up and you go and lock up an office for nobody to work. Is that it?
Yes, that was what the youth did today.
Okay, so that was what they did. Is it to say that the office is now open as we're speaking?
Oh, it has now been opened.
Okay. Why did they decide to do that?
Okay. So here's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
After the appointment of the National Service Authority boss, Mr. Felix James, he asked us to furnish him with, if I say as I mean the regional youth wing.
Okay.
To furnish him with someone who we think is deemed for the position of the regional director of NSA. And we gave him the name. So we were waiting on him to, as it were, give him his appointment letter.
Okay.
But for like a month, we never heard anything from him. Until recently that we heard that he has transferred the director for NSA at Upper East to the Western region. And already a precedent has been set. Because, why am I saying this? When you go to the Eastern region, the Ashanti region, the Savannah region, and the Northern region, they appointed people from the same region.
Okay.
So why then, when it's the turn of the Western region, you transfer someone from the Upper East to come and man the affairs of the NAC in the Western region?
Did you
obviously want to tell us that you don't have the competent hands to man the office? In a situation whereby we have met you, we have agreed on someone who is going to be the NSA director for the region. So we have been engaging him for quite a while.
And what has he been telling you?
Oh, he has been assuring us that he's going to appoint Mr. Gilbert Nyami, the one who we sent his name to him, to be the NSA director. But all of a sudden, he has transferred someone from the Upper East to the Western region. We don't. Our problem is that you have set a precedent. You in the Eastern region, in the Savannah, in the Northern and the Ashanti region, you appointed someone from the region. The Eastern regional director for the NSA is my very good friend. The Ashanti regional director for the NSA is my very good friend, Mr. Finn. So why then Western region you transfer someone from the Upper East to come to the Western region to be the NSA boss? Did
you ask Mr. Jemfi this question?
We asked him.
And what did he say?
Giving us some flimsy excuses.
What excuse did he give?
He even said he want to give our the one we sent his name to him a position at the national level, and we said no. We came to a conclusion. There was someone who is supposed to be the director of NSS in the region. So why then do you have to deviate and go and transfer someone else?
Maybe he's looking at competence and the person cannot manage
exactly.
the region.
It is good that you have said that. If you are talking about competency and qualification, I don't think the NSA director would want to appoint someone who he thinks is not qualified to be the deputy director of monitoring and evaluation at NSA National. Because that was what he told our guy when we went to meet him. He said he should forego the regional level position and come and be the deputy director of monitoring and evaluation for the NSA National. The guy is qualified. He holds 2 executive masters. Recently, he was adjudged the best teacher in the whole of Western region. I don't think there is any competency apart from this.
So maybe his competency is more needed at the national level instead of the regional level.
No. But we even if he's going to be paid 1 CD staff in the Western region, that is where, because you have set a precedent. Why, when you go to the 10 of Western region, you want to deviate from the very precedent that you take?
So
this is
aside from
the entire Western region.
Why do you think it's an insult to the entire Western region?
Because you can't tell me Eastern region you appointed someone from the region, Northern, Savannah, Ashanti. But when you go to the 10 of Western region, you are telling us that you are transferring someone from the Upper East to the Western region. You want to tell us you don't have capable and able men who can man that office in the region.
So, aside from Mr. Gilbert Nyame that you think can do the job, is there anyone else that you suggested? Just
we have
in case
1,001 people who can do that job in the region.
So, you decided to, if I say you, I mean the youth, decided to mobilize yourselves, go and lock up the place so that your demands are met. Now, you're telling me that the office has been opened. Have your demands been met?
He has assured us that we should give him up to Tuesday, that he's going to give the letter to the appointment letter to Mr. Gilbert Nyame to start working as the Western Regional Director of National Service Authority.
So that's why you guys went to open the office?
Yes.
But do you know that what you did is illegal?
What we did was even a preventive measure, because the entire youth of the region wanted to go and vandalize. And we said, no, we don't do things that way. Because we didn't want a situation whereby the officers at the workplace will be there and people will come and harm them and be vandalizing government property. So we went there to, as it were, protect government property.
Okay. So I take it that based on this latest information, you have briefed your members on what Mr. Gyamfi has told you, so they are calm, they are waiting until Tuesday.
Yes, please.
So what will happen to the Upper East Regional Coordinator, Daniel Dawusu, who has been transferred to the Western region?
I don't know. I don't think if someone has been transferred to a particular, you cannot be transferred back to where he or she is coming from. And I'm reliably informed that the guy, Mr. Daniel Dawusu, was penciled for a position at the national level. So I don't see why someone who has been penciled for a position at the national level, you transfer him to the Western region. Whilst we have come into a conclusion that it is for a particular person. I hope you get my point.
Yes, I do.
Yes, please.
So, Kweku, let's get this. What will happen if what you are looking for doesn't happen on Tuesday?
Oh, as for that one, I cannot predict. We'll wait until Tuesday.
Will you be okay with it? Are your members going to be okay with it?
As for whether my members will be okay or not, that's one, unless I engage them to see whether they are going to be okay or not. So we are waiting, God willing, Tuesday. Surely Mr. Gyamfi will do the needful and release the letter to Mr. Gilbert Nyame to start working as the Western Regional Director of the National Service Authority.
When you spoke to them about the conversation you've had with Mr. Felix Gyamfi and the assurance he's giving you that Tuesday Gilbert is going to get his appointment letter, what did they tell you?
They all agreed that, if that is so, then so be it. We are waiting on them up until Tuesday.
And did they say anything about what if that doesn't happen?
No. We are yet to get to that bridge. So when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it.
Okay. Okay, cool. Very grateful.